Hi, it's Andrea Foulkes. I'm in Sedona, Arizona. As you can see, it's gone dark. I could be anywhere now. It's so dark you can't really tell where I am. Let me just spin this around so you can actually maybe see some red rocks in the dusk in the background. Can you see them there? Proof I am really in Sedona. I need to keep this video short because it's gonna be too dark for me to climb back up and get out of here shortly. But it's been such a busy day, and I did want to make this video, and I have been here 6 weeks. And those of you who know me know that I am an expert in past life regression as a therapy, not as a fanciful, who have I been, although that was what I did do on TV. I was regressing celebrities and members of the public, and we were predominantly just doing it as an intrigue. We weren't really showing the healing aspect, but in private practice, that's what I'm more about. And I ran a workshop here yesterday, from Karma to Cosmic, and that was wonderful. So what do I want to talk about in this point where the sun's setting? I want to talk about twin flames and soulmates, because I read the Akashic records, the emotional Akashic records, and I speak light language, and I do a lot of inner child therapy and ancestral timeline healing. And I think there's a big misunderstanding around twin flames, and I'm sure some people are going to disagree with what I'm about to say, and this can't be too long because I don't have much battery left, so I'm going to make the video very short. But what I actually want to say is that in my experience of regressing people, and especially reading the Akashic records recently, I think I personally have never had this absolute longing that I'm looking for somebody outside of myself to complete me. I'm not. I'm looking to bring the divine feminine, divine masculine into balance in my own physical body, and to become complete in a being in my own right. I'm not searching the planet for a lost part of myself. And I think some people who are looking for a twin flame are looking for a lost part of themselves. I don't believe it was really an absolute part of them eons ago. I think we came here as a soul monad. That means a group of souls from another star system. You may have a resonance with those. They may be your twin flame family. I don't think there's one person. I think there's more than one person in a twin flame family. And a soulmate is someone who you can live, in my opinion, harmoniously with. Twin flames tend to, I resonate with what Matt Kahn's been saying recently, and I think that's, they can be real triggers for you, but they don't necessarily become soulmates, and they're not necessarily somebody you're going to live your life with. So what is going on? Well, when I've read the Akashic records of a few people, what I have seen is that a lot of people who have this feeling that they're really, they genuinely have a feeling that there is somebody out there that they're meant to be with, in an absolute kind of, they can't get on with their life unless they meet this person. This is this extreme feeling. But what I found when I've looked into the Akashic records of those souls is that they were either a twin, i.e. a twin in a past life, and they had a traumatic death in that lifetime, or the twin died in a traumatic way in the past life, or when they were coming in to incarnate in this lifetime, before they came into the physical dimension and into the mother's womb, they were perhaps with another soul in agreement to be born as twins, or maybe even triplets or quadruplets, whatever. But in general, twins is what I've seen. And at the last moment, they decided not to incarnate together. So the twin sometimes just went back to source or went to another family. And one occasion I saw where it had, from an earthly perspective, we might want to judge the man, but actually this was really interesting. We saw that she was a girl and he was a boy, and they decided to not incarnate into the same mother. They actually decided to incarnate into the same family, and the father actually got 2 women pregnant at the same time, which I was like, whoa. Because our ego judgment wants to go, oh, dreadful man, dreadful, he was, unfaithful. But that was really interesting from a soul perspective for me to see that. And it was a huge healing for her, because she had a feeling her whole life that there was a part of her missing, like something around her incarnating she didn't understand. And when we read the Akashic records, it was a great healing for her, crying. And then with others, we've had this feeling again, they're looking for a twin, and what they found is in the gestation period in the womb, they were a twin, maybe for a few weeks or months, and then the twin left, or the twin died. Sometimes the mother didn't even know there was a twin, and it just, you know, was naturally released from the body, and there was no sign that there ever was meant to be a sibling. But in some cases, they're aware that one of the siblings died, and this is the grief, this is the loss, this is the longing in their heart that I sense that they're looking for outside of themselves. And often what people do is project it onto somebody who maybe actually isn't that twin. They're so desperate to be completed by a being outside of themselves, and they haven't healed this emotional trauma because they don't know they were meant to be a twin. So what I would say to some people is consider, you know, this information that I'm sharing with you now. Ask yourself in your heart, was I going to incarnate as a twin, or was I a twin in another lifetime and I got separated from that twin very dramatically? Because if that was the case, that's where your loss and sadness is coming from. It's not that you're actually looking for somebody outside of yourself. It's this trauma that hasn't been healed. So if we heal that, we can become complete divine feminine, divine masculine in ourselves. And we can meet somebody else, you know, to have a beautiful relationship with, you know, whether that's male or female, however that relationship works for you. But we're not desperately seeking, you know, somebody to complete us. We are complete in ourselves. So I just wanted to share that perspective with you, because that's what I've seen recently from regressing people, either in altered states of consciousness or reading the Akashic records. And that tends to come from a more honest point of view than someone's ego projection. Because a lot of the people who are projecting the twin flame energy, they sit in suffering in these relationships, and from an outward perspective I can see that they're suffering, but they're so convinced that they are twin flames that they want to stay together, but they're really not that happy. And I think we're here to be a complete soul in our own right. So consider some of what I've shared. That might be the missing link for you. For some of you, you might disagree with me, but I think we need to open up to new perspectives around this whole twin flame story to truly heal, to truly set ourselves free, so we can have that soul freedom in our own self. And then we have freedom of choice from being complete in ourselves. We're not codependent, you know, with someone else. We can have a balanced relationship. So if you've enjoyed this video, check out my other videos. I'm going back to the UK in a few days' time. And subscribe to my channel if you've enjoyed it. Much love, and have a look at my website as well. Bye from Sedona and the dusk. Yeah, bye from the dusk.